Hi, it's Martin. Welcome to another video on my Knit365 YouTube channel. Today's video is my May roundup where I get to talk about all of the fibery things I got up to during the month of May. It is Saturday the 5th of June and I'm recording at home in Cardiff. It is a very, very sunny day. So once I've filmed this video, I'm probably going to head off into the city centre and try and find somewhere to sit outside and do a bit of crochet, I think. That's my plan for the rest of the day. I hope that you are all well. And as you're watching this, you've got a drink, your latest project, and you just get to spend a little bit of time with me, sitting down hearing about all of my adventures in knitting and crochet. If you are a new viewer who's just stumbled upon my channel, thank you for joining me. You are very welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you as always for coming back. I really do appreciate your support in you being here. Today's video will follow the usual format of finished objects. We have some, polish the halo. There are some works in progress. There are some acquisitions, although not woolly related, they are fibre related. We'll come on to those in a little bit. And then I'll talk a bit at the end about my plans for June. So let's just jump straight into it. As usual, we declare the works in progress. Now, last month I had 15 works in progress on my list, and I think I've still got 15 works in progress because even though I've got finished objects, I started something and finished it within the month, and I've looked around and I don't think I've started anything new. It's getting ridiculous now, isn't it? Where I'm like, did I start that project? If I did, I don't know what I've done with it. So I don't think I've started anything new. So we'll declare it 15. So 15 works in progress, which is the same as last month. But I have had some finished objects. So let's get straight into it. My first one. She's so cute. It had been a long while. It'd been a long time since I'd last crocheted something from Toft and the Ed's Menagerie collection. So everybody, please meet Rebecca the Turtle. I mentioned that I was going to record a Toft specific video, and I am, but I didn't want to bombard you with videos because this month we've had the podette where I talked about me trying to save my pathway scarf. We'll come on to that in a moment. I've then recorded my video about the Unravelled festival. Thank you so much if you've watched that and left me some comment. It's been lovely to see how excited you all were about joining me at a yarn festival. So I didn't want to bombard you with too many videos. So I will do the Toff video and I will put that up in a couple of weeks' time. So that'll probably be the second video that I'll put up in June. And I'll talk more about how I got into Toft, my love of Toft, my Toft plans for the rest of the year, because I've formulated a plan in my head now about what I want to create and why I want to create them. But this lovely little turtle is the first creation, maybe this year, that I've made. When did I finish the aardvark? The aardvark was the last I made. I made him Winston for Mark's desk, and I put the little pair of spectacles on him. I'll pop it on the screen. I can't remember when. But anyway, this is Rebecca, and made in the Toft double knit wool. I love their wool. It's just so soft and squishy. It's what I'm making Mark's pathway scarf out of. But I really enjoyed making Rebecca because of the construction. So the shell is made by creating the little brown hexagons. And then you join them together with the lighter colour, and that effectively creates the top of the shell. You then just start and create a spiral to make the bottom, and then you crochet the two bits together and you double crochet around the edge to join. Very, very simple. There are some increases and some decreases which give you the lovely shell effect. And then you just make the body part. So little tail, two back flippers. The lovely front flipper is actually made in 2 bits. And then you stuff her and pop the head in. So this took me, it wasn't even a day. I think I did it a couple of weeks ago on a Sunday. I wanted something really simple. Mark's mum was here sleeping over, and I wanted something that I could just chat, that didn't need too much concentration. So I did her in the day. So I'm very pleased, and it's a finished object. It's another creation from Toft to go and live in my collection. I was going to say I feel like a pirate, but that would obviously be a parrot, wouldn't it? It's going to be one of those videos, I think. So there we go. Finished object. And I think this might be finished object number 3 or 4. I did say I was going to work out and keep a tally as I'm going. So maybe I'll do that for the next video. I'll try and do a... Oh yeah, because actually the next video will be my June wrap up. And we'll be nearly halfway through the year. I'm not halfway through my to-do list for 2021, but that'll be an interesting comparison. So we'll talk about that in the next one. My next lot of finished objects, I'm up to date with my baubles. So for those of you that are just watching this for the first time, Mark wanted me to make some knitted baubles to go on the tree at Christmas. And every Christmas he says, oh, wouldn't it be nice if you had those knitted baubles? Where are we with those? And I go, yeah, I've not done them. So I set myself a challenge to do the Arne and Carlos bauble along that they ran in December last year. But I would make 2 baubles a month. And then by December, I would have a lovely collection of baubles. However, last month, life had gotten in the way. I'd done a lot of crafting, but I hadn't made my baubles. So lots of you were really sympathetic. Like, don't beat yourself up. It's fine. Don't try and do 4. Why didn't you do 3 this month, 3 next month? That was going to be my plan. And actually, I don't know why I finished one and I just went straight into another one. And I kind of got into a bit of a bauble cycle. So we have some baubles. So we have Christmas nuts. I've written them down there. So this is Christmas nuts. Lovely little pattern that just continues around on the bauble. We have Gabriel. I love this one. I just love how the pattern pops, the white and the teal. We have Robin. Look how cute. And then we've got Ivy. And now I'm less fussed with this one. I just don't think you can see the pattern. And we did it in, this is meant to be like a yellowy colour. It's looking quite green on the camera. But it's kind of the branch, and then these are the leaves. But I've looked at it against the picture, and it does look like that. So I don't know, maybe I'm just being a bit fussy with it, but I'm less enamoured with this one. I think lots of the others have, so these are some of the others that I've done. Lots of the others have a clear pattern. You know, that's an ice skate. We've got a reindeer. You get the picture. But this one I'm less enamoured with. So I'm not going to stuff these until December. I think I've talked before. I'm a process knitter. I like to do things in stages. So I'm going to make all the baubles, then I'll do all the steaming, all the stuffing, all the crochet chains. So I might leave this one for the moment. It's done. And I might just go back, and at some point, maybe I'll just do another one of a sort of a Scandinavian type of motif, and I might rip that one back, but we'll see. So I've done my 4 baubles. So I've done April's and May's baubles. So I'm feeling very pleased with myself because I feel like I'm on track again. So we've got a lovely pile starting to build. Obviously you'll have, if this is the first time you're seeing them again, you'll realise they're not in festive colours. Mark chose the colours, so we've got the grey and the cream, the teal, and then what should be a yellowy colour, but it's more of a mustardy, greeny colour, because they go with the decorations in the flat, yellow and teal, as you see, and our Christmas tree is yellows, teals, with a little bit of green. So, yes. They are non-traditional festive, but they're going to be perfect for the flat. So I'm very happy that I've got my baubles back up to date. And I plan on, it's my non-work day. So I work a 9-day fortnight. So I have every other Monday off, which is my knit day. I meant to do chores around the house and things because obviously I've got a day off and Mark hasn't. But I do a few chores in the morning, then I just knit. And I usually do my baubles on my first knit day of the month so that they're out of the way. So that is my plan. I'm going to get back into the habit so I don't have to do them en masse again. They take about... They're not quick. It's Fair Isle. I do it as a two-handed technique. I do them on double-pointed needles. And the wool is Alpaca Soft DK from Rowan. It's so squishy. I think it would make an amazing jumper. It is 70% virgin wool and 30% alpaca. And all the wool is the same. Yeah, I think this would make a nice jumper. I don't need any more sweaters. Let's not get into that. So yes, so that is the finished objects, which means that we're still on 15 because we don't count these as works in progress, really, because I could stop at any time. I won't. And obviously, Rebecca the Turtle, I did within the month. I'm hoping there will be some more finished objects and like proper finished objects next month, and that number will start to come down. More on that a little bit at the end. So let's put the baubles there. So what have I been working on then for May? I haven't done anything on this, but I'm showing it off again because I love it. And I think lots of you love it as well. Marked Argyle jumper. Now, again, things have been crazy. We'll talk about the pathway scarf, which has taken a lot of my time this month. But I did say that I was nearly through the second pattern repeat. And I did say, I'm going to finish the second pattern repeat. And wouldn't it be amazing if I could do a whole nother pattern repeat on top? It hasn't grown since you saw it last. So we'll just very quickly show it off. This is the Argyle sweater by Martin Story. I'm knitting it in some, bear with, I always get this wrong. It's John Arbon Textiles Alpaca Supreme. It is just gloriously soft. It is 40% alpaca, 40% Falklands Merino, and 20% mulberry silk. And I'm still, I say I'm still knitting a row and admiring it. I haven't knit a row this month, but I am still admiring it. So I want to get this, I'm not going to get this finished in the month. No way, it takes a long time. But I will do some more work on it in June. I'm very much looking forward to getting that one done. So that's living in this lovely little rainbow bag by the Little Grey Girl. Gem, I just love her bags. My baubles will also live in, I can't pick it up now, I'm going to drop the baubles, but they also live in a Little Grey Girl London bag. So that's going to be on the needles this month, I promise. The next project that I've worked on, when I've said I needed a little bit of mindless knitting, because work's been quite crazy. I've come home from work some days, I've just sat on the sofa, I've not felt like doing any crafting at all. I've got my Beauceron sweater back out. So I did a video on this, I don't know when, at the start of the year, maybe January, February, as I was doing the yoke, and I hadn't picked it up since then. The reason I hadn't was because the wool is by, it's the Croft Shetland Colours by West Yorkshire Spinners, and it comes in skeins. And the reason why I hadn't moved on to the body was because I hadn't wound the yarn. Literally the worst excuse why I hadn't worked on my jumper. I haven't wound the yarn. It's obviously a lot of hassle to get the winder out, but I've got the winder out. So I've picked this up this month. I've tried it on. I'm really happy with the fit. I've got a long way to go on the body, I think. It's a double knit yarn, and I'm doing it on a 4mm needle. So it's not going to grow that quickly, although this month I have done all of the grey. So I haven't made a dent in the body, but I've properly started the body. And it is now ready to just pick up when I have knit on it more in the last week or so, because I can just pick it up and I can just do a couple of rounds because it's now just knit stitch. So it's very, very, very mindless. I don't need to concentrate at all. I don't need to follow a pattern. So I'm quite pleased that I've made progress. I don't know what that is. 3 inches maybe. So if I can maybe do another 3 inches, and I'll just keep trying to add to it as I'm going. I really like this small motif. So the pattern itself is a slip stitch design. And what we have halfway round is, I'm not sure if the camera can pick this up. Let me try and... So you have this little slip stitch spine that's being created on either side. So it will go down the sides of the jumper. So you basically slip that stitch every other round, and then you just knit it the next time. And it's given a lovely little subtle motif, just another little slip that kind of ties the body and the yoke together. So this is a pattern by Vincent of Baubles, and yeah, it's called the Beauceron sweater, and I am very much looking forward to getting this one finished. And I feel like I've got a bit more motivation with this one now, just to get the body done. I've already started the sleeves. I've already done the difficult bit. The pattern yoke carries on through the sleeve caps. So I've already done that. I just literally need to put these back onto a needle and then just knit the sleeve in the grey and do the decreasing. So I've already picked up, I've already sorted the armholes out. So hopefully that will be another one that we'll make some progress on in June. Also living in a little grey girl bag. Right. For those of you that have watched back a few videos, I did the podette because it wasn't worthy of a full podcast, but I had the drama with my pathway scarf. So if you've not yet watched that one and you want to see a knitter go through some eternal pain and ripping out work, please feel free at the end of this one to go back and watch the podette. My pathway scarf. So this is a pattern by Kerry Lord of Toft. So they have the Toft quarterlies. I've got a new one, I'll show you that in a moment. And I made a shawl for Mark last year, and in the same book is a scarf pattern. So this is the pathway scarf. I'm in an absolute mess. I've got little balls on the go, it's fine. So this is the pathway scarf. It is mosaic knitting. So it is colour work, but it's easier colour work because you're only ever working with one colour in each row. So you're either knitting or slipping, and it's the slip stitches that give you the colour work. And I really just love how graphic the design is. And you can see the path, you know, it's a very simple design and it just repeats across. The colours I've said before, Mark has chosen, and they are growing on me. It's very low contrast with the pink and the grey, but he chose the colours, he bought the wool. I can't really argue. He enables my knitting. I just knit what he tells me. But my last video, I showed this off and I went, oh, right, there's two bits of the pattern. There's a pattern A and a pattern B. I've just finished pattern A. Look how good this is. And then I ploughed on and forgot that I made a fundamental error, which I've now fixed. But the first part of the pattern, you have these pink salvage stitches at the end. That are 6 stitches. And then this is pattern A down here. What you're then meant to do when you start pattern B is you switch to the grey, and then the rest of the pattern will be in the grey, and then you just knit a grey border to go around it. So it is that two-tone colour. And then in the podette, I made the awful realisation that I'd finished this, and this was the position it was in when you saw it last. And then all of a sudden I just had that, oh no, I forgot to change. So go back and watch the podette, if you want to know a little bit more about the drama, but effectively, I think I have done quite a lot of knitting this month because that video I think I loaded maybe 3 weeks ago. And in that period, I've ripped the whole thing back to this row and I've re-knit it. So I've refinished pattern A. So I'm at the same place I was when I showed you last time. And I've also done 6 rows of pattern B. So I feel like that's like a pat on the head. It's not quite a polish the halo because we haven't finished it, but it's like a pat on the head. I feel really, really proud of myself that a lot of you commented on the video saying, you're a better person than me. I would have left it in the naughty corner for months. It probably would have been frogged and I would never have done it again. And I genuinely feel if it wasn't for you lot and me recording my YouTube videos, I don't think this would be back where it is. After I had the, oh my God, I've got to rip the whole thing back, I was like, oh, this is going to make a good blog, good content. So I genuinely feel like, so thank you for being here and giving me the ongoing support on my little YouTube channel, because I genuinely feel like if it wasn't for the fact that it was a good filming opportunity, I would never have got this back to the same position it was last month and further on. So I do feel really, really pleased. It's a scarf, obviously, as I've said, but it's actually, as you can gather, it's knit back and forth. So it's over 300 stitches. So it's not, it doesn't take a huge amount of time to do a row, maybe 15, 20 minutes. It's just knit stitches. And typically the pattern is easy to remember. So the pattern is a 16 or 20 stitch repeat. And then you just kind of get in your head, knit, knit, slip, knit, knit, slip, knit, knit. You just kind of work it out. So it's actually quite easy to memorize that row. And then on the way back, you don't need the pattern because you knit and slip what you knit and slip on the previous row. So the wrong side rows are a lot easier. You don't need to think about them. So that is the pathway scarf. I'm very happy, finally. And yeah, I'm really pleased that I've managed to get this bit sorted. It's going to need a good block once it's finished, but it's fine. Mark loves it, which is the most important thing. So I do hope this will be a finished object because I feel like I'm in a groove now with the mosaic. Every time I put it down, I then have to quickly think, which one am I slipping, which one am I knitting? And then I get it back in my head and then I'm off. So I would quite like to finish the mosaic part of that at least this month, which is definitely achievable. I think that's probably a couple nights work and then the mosaic bit is done. And then it's just, that's mindless knit stitch as well then because I've just switched to the grey colour and I just knit to the end. Another one also living in a little gem. Luxurious velvet. I love this one. So yes, that is my pathway scarf. So I desperately want to get that one finished. And that's it for what I've been working on in terms of my main projects. I said about these works in progress, I've got like 15 things on the go. I need to try and get that down, I think, because if you saw the unraveled video, I've bought enough wool now to make a jumper for me, another shawl. I've already got wool to make 3 or 4 shawls. I want to make some socks. So I kind of feel like I need to get some stuff off the needles before I can start some new things. The wool that I bought from the Unraveled Festival, hop back and watch that video if you've not seen it yet. I bought that from the Wool Kitchen. And I really, really, really want to make a jumper for myself. But I've said, until the Beauceron is finished, I'm not going to do that. And I'm excited by that wool. It's over there. It's calling to me. You can't see it. It's over there. Which I think is why I got the Beauceron sweater out. So I'm really going to try and make a conscious effort to work on one project, if I can, at least a few weeks in the month. So, you know, I can have a good dent into that Beauceron, I think, and the pathway, and then they're done. And then maybe when the pathway's finished, I can then start a shawl. When the Beauceron's finished, I can start a sweater. I'm kind of like one off, one on. I'm going to really try and not start anything new without finishing some things. Wish me luck. However, that said, I've got a new crochet initiative. No, genuinely I have. So So after I've said all of that, I am doing something else. I'm crocheting some key rings. So it is Pride Month worldwide. June is a celebration of Pride, all things LGBT. It is about recognising diversity and appreciating all of our lovely people, our friends, family, colleagues, anyone that identifies in the LGBT bracket. And obviously I appreciate there's a lot more acronyms. I will be here all day if I list them all out. But I really wanted to do something that was awareness raising, but also fundraising as well. So Mark and I are incredibly lucky. Our nieces totally accept who we are. Our nieces know that they've got an aunt and an uncle on both sides, and then they've got two uncles, and that's just the way it should be. I totally supported by all of my friends, family, my work colleagues, and Mark is the same. But we appreciate that not everybody is in that position. So as it's Pride Month, I wanted to do something, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I wanted to try and do something knitted or crochet related. As I was scrolling through Twitter one day, I came across a pattern by a lady who designs under the name of One Creative Cat, and it was for a keyring. You can see where this is going. So cute. So I bought myself a kit, and my original plan was I was going to buy a kit and I was going to make Mark and I a keyring to go on our bag or on our keys. Just a small little nod of appreciation for the LGBT community. And I then thought, oh, I've got lots of LGBT friends. I'll make them a keyring. So I was talking to Mark about it. I said I was going to do this. And he said, could you make some for me? And I'll sell them at work to my colleagues. And then we can raise money. We've got a Pride group at work. And I was like, oh, I've got a Pride group at work. And the idea has snowballed from there. So basically, I got in touch with the designer. I explained that I wanted to use her pattern, if I could, to raise some money for charity during Pride Month. And she said, absolutely no problem. She's more than happy to do that. So it's such a lovely gesture. So I'll pop all the details below. Please go and check out One Creative Cat's website. There's yarn on there. It's a really lovely site. So please go and check that out. But we've got some key rings now. So this is the Pride one, obviously. And then I've made a couple of others then. So we have, I love how bright these colours are. So this is the pansexual flag. This is the bisexual flag. And then we've got the transgender flag. There are 12 or 13 flags, and I can't find enough coloured cottons to make every flag. So we've settled on 4 designs. They are made out of Sirdar Happy Cotton, which just comes in such an amazing range of colours. Like, genuinely, I can't believe the colour match that I've managed to get for all of the flags. So I'm going to be crocheting these, and we are making as many as I'm going to make as many as I can and sell them to friends, colleagues, acquaintances. I've had people on my social media that I've never met before message me where other people have shared it, and we've gotten orders coming in. All profits are going to go to Mind Out, who are an LGBT mental health charity. They provide counselling for people that need it. And the reason we've chosen Mind Out is my Pride network at work has 3 or 4 charity partners that we work with. Mark's Pride network at his work have some partners that they work with. And would you believe it, we work for 2 completely different companies, and Mind Out is on the list for both of us. So as we were hoping to raise awareness and sell these to colleagues at work through our diversity networks, we thought that Mind Out, it was perfect that we can both raise money in our respective companies, but we can both benefit the same charity. So that's what we're going to do. What this does mean, though, is all of my crafting plans need to take second fiddle to my key rings. So I'm making the key rings to order. They are £5 of which £4 goes to charity. So I've bulk bought the cotton. I've bulk bought key rings, excuse the rustling. And I've got an order. Mark and I tallied them up very quickly this morning, and I think we've got in excess of 30 orders, which is amazing, and that is going to make a difference and help us raise some money for Mind Out. Lots of different combinations. Some people have ordered all four, which is very, very generous. Some people just want a pride one or just a trans one. And I think it's really nice that, you know, if you're in that community and you want to have something that's visual to put your keys on, it's great, but you can also pop them on a bag if you are, you know, I've got some friends that are out but aren't too out with lots of their friends. So it's kind of like a little subtle nod that you kind of, you know, if you're comfortable to do that, you can pop that on your bag and it's just a little nod to the community. Or you can just be, as I'm sure most of my community is from the support that I've had, just be a good ally, and you can absolutely get a key ring and pop it on your bag or on your keys, and it just shows your support for the LGBT community. So I need to make, at the moment, I need to make 30 of them. So I've said it's a lovely sunny day. I'm going to go out after this and find somewhere for lunch, and I'm probably going to go and sit in a coffee shop for the afternoon. You know it's going to be Big Moose. And crochet. It's such a lovely design. They are made in strips and then you fold them over. So I'm really, really happy. If you would like to buy a keyring, because obviously I am raising money for charity and I've got you here as my captive audience. If you would like a keyring, please, I'll pop my email below. You can email me, or if you do have social media, if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you can drop me a message there and I'll happily sort this out for you. I can give you some bank details. You can pay me directly, or I have PayPal, so you can pay me through PayPal. So whatever's easiest. But if you'd like to support our LGBT friends and family, please do let me know. So I'm very excited. So of course, depending on how these turn out will depend on how much of that I'm going to get done. But I will keep you posted with my campaign, and I will, I won't let it impact on my crocheting and my knitting too much. Famous last words. You heard it here first. And that's it for all of the crafty content. I mentioned 2 acquisitions. Oh, I've just remembered. I'm going to talk about an acquisition now. And I said I'm not going to start anything new, but I'm going to start something new. Honestly, I'm a nightmare. Can someone come and take all my wool away? Just take my stash away until I finish something, please. I have 2 acquisitions. The first one, this is the Shetland Wool Adventures Journal. This is by Misa Hay, who lives in Shetland. And this is the 2nd edition. It is a lovely, lovely thick book. And it's almost one of those coffee table books. And I was obsessed with the first one because you can read it as a book, as a magazine, but it also is so practical. So that's Misa. And she produces and curates this herself. So within the book, we have stories and the history of Shetland. We have references to some lovely, lovely knitwear. Obviously, the Shetland patterns and Fair Isle are just spectacular. So we have stories about the history of Shetland. So we've got the history of Shetland tweed in this edition, for example. We have some non-knitting related. So here about a potter. And then Misa shares some of the lovely things that the people make. There are patterns and recipes for, what have we got? Oat cakes, some slow cooked beef cheeks, like everything. It's such a lovely, lovely book. And then there are also knitting patterns. So this is the Atlantic Waves Slipover. That's lovely. I think my mum would quite like that, actually. I'm not knitting that for her. I have too many things. but there are some knitting patterns within the book as well at the back. So yeah, this is the second edition. I love the first one. So this arrived this week, so I haven't looked at this yet. So I'm really looking forward to sitting down. It's kind of one of those Sunday morning mug of coffee and then read through the book. Oh, I've just seen some hand warmers. So please go and check out Misa and her website and sign up for the newsletter and maybe consider getting one of these as well. I would definitely recommend it. So that was my acquisition. The other acquisition I have, but I didn't pay for it. For my birthday in March, I was gifted a Toft quarterly subscription by my lovely baby brother and his wife and my niece one, my oldest niece. And this has just arrived. So I've had a look through it. So this edition is all about wild animal prints. And I've said, I just love everything that Kerry and the Toft team do. And this is where I did say I wasn't going to knit anything, but Kerry's doing a knit along that starts next week. What are you going to do? You have to join a knit along for the new magazine, don't you? And Mark would quite like some, I need to be careful so I don't show the pattern. Mark would like some hand warmers in giraffe print. Although Mark being Mark, he doesn't want them in those colours. He wants them in a lighter colour. The colour that I made his shawl in last year, it's like I can't remember what the actual colour is. It's a lighter brown and a cream. So he wants those. But they're also doing a knit along for a hat. So this hat is the cheetah's hat. Very simple colour work, Fair Isle knitting in the round. What I love about this book, and I can't show you this because it will give it away, but the patterns have been written. So if I flip back, where's that hat gone? So the hat, within the pattern book, you have the chart to make this. Within the pattern book, at the end, there are patterns to make the leopard, a snow leopard, tiger, cheetah, zebra, and giraffe. And all of the patterns within the book can be substituted with any of the other animals. It's such a great mix and match. And so, yeah, so I was planning on joining in the knit along, and it's knit a hat in a month. I can do that amongst all the other things. And I've kind of told Mark now, and he's chosen the wool as I probably will start a hat, I'm not going to lie to you. So I've just had my Toft quarterly, and I've already found a pattern that I want to make. Oh, honestly, guys, someone come and take my stash away from me, because this is it's just crazy. So there we go. I think that's everything. Yeah, I've just looked through my list. There's nothing else that I had to talk to you. It's been a funny old month. And I said, I didn't think I had that much to talk about. But then when I started getting all of my bits, I've had some of my finished objects. I've done some great work on the pathway, and that's nearly there to be finished. I'm going to try and do a dent in that Beauceron. And I might try and dig out, I've got another hat. One of my 15 whips is a hat. And I've made it, it's a slouchy beanie, and I just need to decrease the crown. It's literally, it's probably like an hour's work. So I might try and grab something that is nearly finishable and try and work on that. I'm going to need a break from the key rings. But hey, you know me, I'm completely open. I'm completely honest with you all about how crazy I am and how I love anything knitting or crochet related. And I know that you all feel the same. Most knitters, I know there are some of you here, definitely, you comment and tell me regularly that you are monogamous knitters. One project on the needles, and honestly, I take my hat off to you, because I can't do it. I just get so distracted, but I do feel like I need a bit more discipline. So yeah, we will come back in June and come back in July and see what happened in June as to whether I finished anything or just started lots of new things. The other one I haven't mentioned is actually my Babette blanket. And again, I haven't mentioned it because I haven't done anything on that. So I've not made any more crochet squares. So that might be something I'd like to try. It's fine. Right, I am going to leave this video there. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Please let me know how you prioritize your works in progress. How do you decide what to do? How, for all of you people that have multiple whips, how do you make any progress? How do you stop yourselves getting distracted? Please let me know. Answers on a postcard below. Leave me a comment. I love chatting to you all. It's so nice to speak to everyone. As always, if you're on Instagram or Twitter, please come and find me over there. Say hi, tag me and post. Let me see what you're working on. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't subscribe, please click on that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, but it helps me to grow my community. We've got over 1,200 people now, which is just amazing. I just love the fact that my little community is growing. I really look forward to sitting down and talking to you, coming up with new ideas for videos. As the lockdown eases further in Wales, certainly I'm going to try and get out and about and get some of those trips into some local yarn shops. So there'll be more videos like that coming. The Toff video is coming in a couple of weeks' time. So I hope that you are all keeping well. I hope that you all have a great month. And yeah, I'll leave it there. So thank you very much as always. And until we speak again, happy crafting.